Hello everybody and welcome to another CB Show Tunes tutorial. Now today what we're going to be covering is how to finish our game by adding a canvas or a menu screen to our game, as well as pretty much just finishing it all out, giving us a scoring system, stuff like that. So let's go and get started with this tutorial. Now, as you could see inside our last tutorial, we set this up to where we basically have our scrolling walls, our objects coming at you, our character running, and all that good stuff. So, to start out with, we're going to need to do a little bit of something with our game manager script. So, we're going to go over to our other script and go over to our game manager script. Now, the first thing that I did with this script is I added this public bool on win. Now, what happens when onWin is activated, we want it to be able to shut off all the perks that are happening on inside this update function. So if you actually come over here to the void start, you can see we have two new variables called don't destroy unload game object and onWin equals false. So onWin equals false means that onWin we haven't won yet, right? And don't destroy unload game object means that this game object is not going to be destroyed when we load a new scene. The reason why we have this is because this does contain our scorecard, so we want to make sure that it is still activated. Okay, so now since we got that, we're going to roll down to the void update function. Now, as you can see, we have this if onWin is equal to false, and then of course we have our brackets here and here. Now, or here, I believe. Here. Yep, there it is. Okay. Now, the reason why we have this bracket, if onWin is equal to false, then that means that this is going to be running as fast as this is right here. So it'll continue speeding up time, it'll give us XP, stuff like that. We're going to have this else function to change our time back down to equal 1. So when we go to our pre-menu, or pretty much our win menu or lose menu, whatever you want to call it, it's going to turn our time scale back to 1 instead of have our time scale equal to our current speed, which is super fast. Next, on void trigger enter collider. So basically where we're going to change to our new scene, we're going to add our onWin is equal to true, so as to shut off this function right here and activate this function. Okay, so now since we got our game manager covered and finished, the first thing that you want to do is add new scenes. Now to add a new scene, right click, go to create, and you're going to simply add a scene. Now you can create your own folder for this if you want to. I'm just not going to worry about it right now. So as you can see, we have this main menu screen and we have this pre-menu screen. Both of them are pretty identical, just a little bit different. So we have our game menu or main menu screen, right? So all that you need to do for a UI element and all is right click on your hierarchy, go to UI, and select canvas. So as you can see, we have our canvas right here. I of course changed this canvas to be a screen space overlay, or a screen space is equal to camera. So basically it's just sitting on top of the camera. You can have it set as screen space overlay, means it overlaps anything in front of it, but for now I'm going to skip with screen space camera. Inside this we have a image background, which if you want an image background, right click on canvas, go to UI, add an image, and to get it to cover the entire screen, simply select this anchor, hold down Alt, and then select this button right here. It will expand it across the entire screen. Then of course I just simply went to the color, changed the color down to whatever I wanted it to be, and there you go. We have our image. This title right here is actually a text UI. All you need to do is go to UI, text, and of course I just changed the name by simply coming up here, changing it, adjusting all that stuff, change the text, and of course all this good stuff. Here's of course color. Pretty self-explanatory. Of course you have these play button and exit button. These things are a little bit just slightly more complicated than the other, but it's just as simple. So all I did was simply adjust the heights and widths, change the color right here. Normal color means that this is what it's going to look like as average. Highlight color means that it's hovering, and press color means it's been pressed. Now, as you can see, we have this on-click function. So let's go and cover this and how it works. So to add a click function, you just simply click add, then drag a game object with a script on it. So of course I added this script to my canvas. You can add it to whatever you want to. And I'm going to go over to the script. So menu control main is what I called it. And we added two functions called, or two variables called public string load selected scene and public string main menu. Pretty simple, pretty easy. So underneath that we have three functions, and we have public void play, public void exit, and public void main menu load. So underneath the play function, we're going to have scene manager.load scene, load selected scene. Under public void exit, application.quit, and under public void main menu load, scene manager.load scene main menu. Pretty easy, pretty simple. So on your canvas, if you look at this, we have this saying game, this saying nothing, and of course on these buttons right here, all you need to do to select this public void is simply select this right here, or make sure that you drag your canvas onto this object right here, then select this right here, go over to menu control main, or whatever your script is called actually, and then go over to the function that you want to call. So we want play to be there, we want exit to be there, and there you go. Alright, so that covers that one right there. Now we're going to go over to our last scene, which is our pre-menu, and we're just going to discuss this, well, as fast as possible, but of course as comprehensible as possible too. So we have our character here. We just added a character. It's not really super important to have this character here. I did add my scoring script onto this character, but you can add that script onto anything. This character is simply just a player object that I just dragged inside here. I added a new animator controller. As you can see right here, I added TY Dance and just added it onto my animator, or onto my character. So it was pretty simple. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to need to do is come over here, and we're going to go to our script. We need to make that public. Yeah. So underneath our script, we are going to pretty much call this public float score, which basically means this is going to be a float. We have a public text score. We have our private game manager script. So we basically are going to call this game manager script. And then we're going to call this private game object GM. So GM is equal to this game object. So to underneath the void start, we're going to say GM is equal to game object.find with tag gmanager. And we're going to say script is equal to gm.get component game manager. And of course, score is equal to script.level. And down inside the void update function, we're going to say text score.text is equal to score.toString. So that basically turns our float into a string. All right, so now we're going to select whatever we have our text on, and all we need to do, or our script on, all we need to do is simply select our score text and drag it onto here. And this is set up just like we had our main menu set up, so it's pretty much the same setup. Alright, so we are going to test this just to make sure that it's all running properly on the computer. As you see, our score's running properly. And if you keep on seeing this object reference not set to an instance of an object, that's mainly due to the fact that our game manager is trying to find this game object player. So it's just trying to find it. If it's not finding it, it's not really going to cause any super problems with your game. So I would ignore it for now. But we're going to show you guys the game inside the actual, game. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.
This is the math section.